Hello and welcome back to the On Respect and to another edition of NXT Out of 10. And of course, it's a big episode of NXT today because we've got Battleground coming up next weekend. So yeah, WWE's only got a few episodes, including this one, to build for the PLE. And on the show advertised, we got Trick Williams and Joe Hendry signing their contract, Wesley v Tony D. But we start things off with Obafemi against Charlie Dempsey. But before that, Mars Bourne and No Call to Catch Crew opened the show with a promo from the match began. And the NXT champ had a huge power advantage, but Dempsey used his technical ability to prevent the powerhouse fully dominating. He tried to keep the big man grounded by focusing on his legs and submissions and much more offense. But Femi's effort and energy was too much to overcome. He made a comeback and hit a big powerbomb to defeat the leader of No Call to Catch Crew right in front of the number one contender. A solid match, but it wasn't designed to be show stealing. It was done to make Femi look like a beast, which of course isn't hard to do. So yeah, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Wesley and Tony D's match was up next, and while Lee came into it with some fire, the Dom was still looking to take out his aggression on someone after being betrayed by Stax. Lee's speed and agility only got him so far until Tony G turned the tables and took control. He sent his rival out of the ring and into the arms of his friends before taking out all three men with a dive over the top rope. Lee tried to use some dirty tactics, such as using the ropes for leverage during a pin, but the Don kept finding ways to survive. Once he was back in control, he started throwing Lee around like a rag doll. The Stax appeared on the screen to taunt the Don, and Lee took advantage of the distraction so he could hit his finisher for the win. Stax said he was going to pay Rizzo a visit as Tony D tried to recover. The match had decent energy, but was little anticlimactic. Sometimes NXT uses predictable booking tropes too much, and for me, yeah, kind of just brought the grade down. 5 out of 10. Tony D was then shown getting into the vehicle to find Stax. We went to our next match, Ethan Page versus Bourne. Surprisingly, Bourne was with the rest of No Call to Catch Crew while they stayed backstage. They locked up clean. Bourne scored a takedown in a waistlock. All Ego hit him with a face and applied a headlock. The number one contender looked more competitive than he has before, which was obviously done to make him look more of a threat to Femi. Page didn't job to him, but he helped the young man look strong. All Ego's been incredible in the role of a veteran who guides younger talents. He feels like a big deal of NXT. Without other characters suffering. It's a tough balance to maintain, and we returned from a break to see Page hit suplex for a 2 count, but Bourne then began to make a comeback and hit a series of power moves for All Ego to the finish. After hitting the dropkick, he rolled Page up for the win. This was a fun match that made Bourne look better than he has in any singles match. His progression has been awesome to watch, and even though he probably won't win the NXT title, he's clearly impressed people enough to earn the opportunity. I think the future's bright for him, so yeah, 6 out of 10. Tony D was then arriving at his safe house only to be attacked by Stax in the front yard. Before back in the arena, Thea Hale and Tatum Paxley met in a singles match. Hale took Pax down and gelled her before hitting a kick and standing moonsault for a quick 2 count. She was showing more heel tendencies than usual, but a falling kick from Paxley stalled her momentum. Both women came into this with enthusiasm, but they may have been trying to just go a bit too quickly because they had a couple of moments where they should have looked better. Even a simple roll-up looked a little awkward at one point. Hale tried to win with a Kimura lock, but Paxley ended up getting herself DQ'd by going after her opponent's eye and refusing to relent. She lost it after the match and kept attacking Hale until the ref pulled it away. A strange finish, but it was more interesting than the usual DQ. Paxley's clearly in a dark place, and yeah, I'm intrigued to see where she goes into the madness. So yeah, for this alone, I'll give it 5 out of 10, but still intrigued to see where we go. Before our main event was Jordan Grace and Stephanie Vaquer taking on Fallon Henry and Jason J. But before we got to that, Joe Hendry and Trick Williams met backstage with Ava to sign their contract for the TNA title match. The Scot said TNA's hotter than it's been in years, and he takes pride in that. But yeah, that's going to be a great match. But onto the match, Grace used her power to control Henry while looking right at Vaquer, but the champ tagged herself in and hit a springboard dive to one-up her partner. Fatal Influence fought back and took control as the show went to break. Grace and Vaquer then had to fight back, so they put their friendly rivalry aside to work together. Grace even saved Vaquer from a double team spot by putting herself in that way. The Juggernaut was able to recover and hit her finisher for the win for the team. She and Vaquer had a tense moment after the match, but it didn't get physical. The show ended with a shot with Page backstage attacking Ricky Saints, attacking him. So yeah, that's the next direction. But yeah, for the women's division, Grace and Vaquer getting a win. You can tell it's going to be a very intriguing story between those two coming up. Bit of a shame to defeat Fatal Influence like that. But yeah, I'm very intrigued in this continued program. So I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Overall, NXT this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I'd say a bit of a mixed episode of NXT. Some bits were decent, some bits maybe not so good. Really enjoyed the main event. Some intriguing angles between Tony D and Stax, but maybe the rest of it didn't quite hit the mark. So yeah, I'd say NXT is kind of a bit up and down. Some stories good, some's not so good. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.